Welcome back to Scale Metal Kit Review. This is your host, Steve. Up next is the Build Your Own Delorean from Back to the Future by Eaglemoss. This is issue number 14. Welcome back. Here's the magazine for issue 14 for Build the Back to the Future DeLorean by Eaglemoss. Let's look at it. Once we open it up, table of contents gives us the drive time, production diary, dressed for success, a time traveler's guide. On the right gives us a listing of all the parts that are included with this kit. This time we get to assemble the right-hand rear suspension. Takes us through all the steps. Just like issue 12. This time we get to repeat everything, but it's on the other side. Then it gives us an article on behind the scenes production diary, where the crew had to battle through some inclement weather like rain and such to do the filming, but they still got it done. Then we have a nice article here on Leah Thompson, which was a showstopper, I thought. Very attractive. And dressed for success, Michael J. Fox again, cast as Marty. And lastly, Johnny B. Good, which was brought into the movie, Marvin Berry and the Starlighters. And of course our next issue after this, issue 15, will be another wheel that we will be installing on the right hand side. With that, let's get started with this issue. I'll be right back. This is the pan of ice I've been using to help hold the frame while I install some of the components. And it's great, very heavy duty, solid, and it's been very handy. So I highly recommend this tool for building any of your 1/8 scale die-cast cars. It's a great help. Here's the parts with issue 14, and they are all contained in this bag. I'll take them out of the bag, we'll get a closer look at the parts, and then we'll assemble it. Here's the parts in the blister pack. Yeah, nice and neat. We'll take these out and we'll get a closer look. Here are all the parts for the right rear suspension. We get the right rear radius arm, right rear shock assembly, spring, hub carrier, brake caliper, brake disc, front tie rod, our track rod, a link, bracket, and flange and boot. We get AP screws, BM screws, CM screws, EM screws, HM screws, and IM screws. I will be right back and we'll get this assembled. We're going to install the right wheel hub and trailing arm. And by the instructions we want to make sure that it's configured just like that, where it's flat on top and open on the bottom. We want to have the shorter arms on top and the longer arms on the bottom. We are going to use CM screws for this, and like always, since I'm going into metal, I want to lubricate these with some lip balm that I always use for this purpose. It makes putting the screws in a lot easier. I put some lip balm on this, and I'm going to feed it through the holes here where the screws go into, and I'm going to line it up, and we'll put our screws in. Once again, these are CM screws. I'll get the other one started. And just tighten them down a bit. And there we go. Next we're going to install the link on the bracket. We'll insert the bracket down on here. And I already greased up the hole. Put an EM screw into it. And we'll just tighten it down. And there it is. Alright, we're going to install this link and bracket, and make sure the bracket, the top of it is right there, it's facing upward. There's a tab here that lines up, and I've already got the hole pre-oiled, and the link is going downwards. We're going to put a BM screw in. There's that. Next we install this arm, and just as before, it mounts right here. It gets installed with an EM screw. So I already put some lip balm on the hole there to help lubricate. These EM screws, it helps them go in a little easier when you do put a little lubrication on there. Vaseline or lip balm. The threads have to cut into the metal. And there you go. Next we line up the hub with the link, just like that. And we have to put in an HM screw, which looks like that. A little tricky to get it threaded to the other side, but looks like I got it. Perfect. Next we want to assemble the brake disc and caliper. In this case we want to just install the caliper on the disc. You can see there's two alignment tabs and a detent for where the screw goes through. Just like that. And then we'll just install an AP screw. Be careful, don't over tighten it because it could strip. And that is it. Now we'll install this on the wheel hub. Next we'll install the brake caliper and disc onto the wheel hub, and that's magnetized here. We got a magnet on the back side. That's going to feed right in between that. Then this rod goes right in between there. And lastly, that all goes together with the shock, and the shock will go on the back side. So we'll put our IM screw through the shock first. And we'll feed that through. As best as we can here. It's going. We'll take our screwdriver, screw that on, and there it is. Everything seems to be functional. We'll turn it over and we'll show you how to install the spring. Next we install the spring on a shock. Get that down in there and seated. Then we need to get it up into the shock mount. There we go. And we need to get lined up to install a GM screw on top. We're going to need to compress it just a little bit. Just like that. Got a little lip balm in there to lubricate it, and we'll screw this down. And there you have it. Next we assemble the right track rod, and just as before, we insert this into that. And we screw that down with a BM screw. Get everything lined up there. Perfect. And lastly, we put the boot on. We insert the larger opening first, all the way through and up against. And there we go. We don't install this just yet. We'll do that in a later issue, but that is it for issue 14. It's a lot of fun. We got both rear suspensions done on this now, and I look forward to the next pack arriving and doing more of a build. So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Eaglemoss Back to the Future DeLorean. It's available right now to USA subscribers, so don't hesitate. Get this bad boy on your shelf. 1/8 scale. It's huge, big, heavy, and very impressive. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel, like, and hit the bell for any updates. With that, happy modeling everybody. Take care.